I'm Dan Kintigh of Kintigh's Nursery. My father purchased this property in the late 50s. My son and I operate this together.
We're very thrilled that there's 4 generations of Kintighs here. 3 of us have been born here. We grow beautiful conifer seedlings as well as Christmas trees.
We became increasingly frustrated here, especially with labor, the availability of it, and the quality of it. Right about then, Cascade Timber came along and started bringing to my attention some potential ways that I could improve my business and be more successful. Typically, you don't have a company that you work for offering to come alongside you and help you to move along forward in a better direction.
We do have a really good relationship with quite a few nurseries growing our seedlings. That's really super important that we are involved deeply with everything from sowing seed to growing to pulling and transporting. We don't just look at the bottom line, the cheapest one, we want the best one.
So now my father and I are doing this change in our generational farm of switching to AirTrays and Ellepots. We believe it's the best technology available to us.
I began to realize the biggest benefit of the AirTray system is the root development.
The AirTray has gaps around the paper, and so that produces these roots where it just has root buds all over the place. So when this thing goes in the ground, it's just good and ready to go.
One of the big concerns we have in Oregon and California and throughout the West Coast is drought. So when we have a tree like what's grown in an AirTray, you have more root tips, more root surface area, and it's able to take advantage of the soil moisture.
The other thing that I've never been fond of is styro blocks. The sanitation of them is extremely difficult. Drying out after irrigation is an extremely important thing to prevent diseases.
One of the issues that we've been seeing in the field is there's a particular disease that affects Douglas fir that's called cylindrocarpin. This is a pathogen that comes from the nurseries and it grows in the styrofoam blocks. When those blocks aren't new or if they're not adequately sanitized, that pathogen gets into the root system of the seedling. The seedling might look okay initially, but after a couple years, you'll start to see a lot of mortality. This is one of those seedlings that has that pathogen, and the bulk of its roots here are really non-functioning and have died off, which is why we have this single long root that's branched off from the stem. In a couple years, this seedling will most likely be dead. By using a system that doesn't rely on styrofoam, you're eliminating some of those sanitation issues that for us as foresters in the field, it really benefits the crop that we get.
It's a natural progression for us to move into the AirTray system because we've always been looking for a better way and trying to change with the industry to grow a better product.
It's whether we're growing trees or protecting trees from fire, to not just do what everybody else is doing, but to take a hard look at whatever we're doing, how can we do it better? I really appreciate that they allow us to be innovative and do those kinds of things.
We take pride in that we've been able to mix the old with the new, with our traditions of always growing a high quality tree.
I've never really considered myself the owner of the property, that I'm just the caretaker or a steward of it. My intent is to leave it in better condition than I received it. I really strongly feel that this is the next step in the evolution of the industry.